Measured grounding tone. A notification lights up your screen. It's a massive block of text from someone you know as highly manipulative. Immediately, your heart rate spikes and your nervous system floods with adrenaline as your mind tries to process the accusations. Your natural instinct is to reply immediately. You want to defend your character and correct the false narrative. But in a high manipulation dynamic, that reaction is a data mining operation. The sender is looking for emotional data they can use to maintain control. In the next 5 minutes, we are going to neutralize that message. You will learn to process the text using the BIFF framework, strip it of its leverage, and log the interaction to establish a documented record of their behavior. The first step is the 2-hour triage rule. Before you type a single word, implement a minimum 2-hour delay. Forcing this gap disrupts the feedback loop the manipulator depends on and allows your brain to shift from reactive panic back to analytical clarity. Step 1 is the triage. We perform a stimulus downgrade. This is where you reclassify the message from a personal threat to a clinical data point. You are no longer a target. You are a researcher observing a set of predictable behavioral patterns. Scan the text for the DARVO framework: deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. This is how manipulators evade accountability in writing. They deny the behavior, attack your credibility, and then claim to be the actual victim of the situation. Label that sentence an attack on credibility. Identify that manufactured urgency as crisis escalation. Tag the shift and blame as reverse victim. Naming the tactic immediately neutralizes its emotional payload. By identifying the mechanics of the attack, you replace defensive panic with the strategic calm required to draft a response. Step 2 is drafting. We use the BIFF protocol: brief, informative, friendly, and firm. Look at your reactive draft. To neutralize it, surgically remove the JADE failure modes: justifying, arguing, defending, and explaining. Delete sentences attempting to justify decisions or defend against false accusations. Remove arguments about the past or emotional explanations. These give manipulators logic to dismantle boundaries. Your final output should be 2 to 5 sentences. It must be purely factual, maintain a neutral affect, and end with a firm statement regarding logistics or boundaries, rather than an invitation to continue the argument. This applies even to an apology or charm offensive. Manipulators deploy warmth when control is threatened. Maintain protocols. Do not reciprocate. Stripping away JADE and applying BIFF turns you into a gray rock. You become uninteresting as a target because you no longer provide the emotional reactions the manipulator needs to calibrate their tactics. Step 3 is capturing. You must secure the evidence before you hit send on your draft. Avoid the mistake of simply forwarding the message to yourself. Forwarding strips the native metadata. Under the rules of evidence, courts and institutions require the original formatting to authenticate the record. Take a screenshot capturing 3 elements: the device timestamp at the top, the sender's contact profile or phone number, and the full message content. Step 4 is building the forensic incident log. Institutions evaluate demonstrated patterns, not isolated disputes. You are building a record that speaks for itself. Your log requires 6 columns: date, time, location or medium, the exact statement received, your response, and the immediate impact. Paste the data from your screenshot and your neutralized BIFF response into the record. Consistency is more important in cleverness. Transitioning the conflict from a glass screen into a spreadsheet shifts the power dynamic from interpersonal chaos to a documented pattern of behavior. You are creating evidence that can be evaluated by third parties. Finally, you hit send, close the file, and step away. In this exchange, you gave away 0 emotional data. You successfully enforced a behavioral boundary, and you added a concrete brick to a permanent record. This is your new operating role. Be entirely predictable on your process, where, when, and how you communicate, but be entirely unpredictable on your emotional content. By treating manipulation as a mechanical processing task rather than a relationship dynamic, you rewrite the rules of engagement and become unmanipulatable.